Hello, Kenny Will here. Just want to send you a brief message. Sorry I wasn't able to be there in person, but there's not enough words to express my gratitude towards you. I really appreciate everything you've done for me. It's been an honor knowing you. Enjoy this moment. It's a well-deserved honor. Miss you, Coach. God bless you. Go Cullen.
He's about this tall. He has guns, huge guns, man. The veins sticking out. He had the purple conquistador shorts, man. He has his big old thighs, man. And his mouth watering when he's speaking. He has his grimace on his face. Man, I'm like, crap, you know. And I'm from Dodge City. I've never seen this guy before, you know. My name is Robert Del Pino, and I played with Coach. I played under Coach and under Coach Frangulis and under Coach Such, you know, and then we had a graduate assistant, you know, and now I hear there's like 10 to 15 coaches on the staff, you know, and we were winning then, you know, but I just wanted to say thank you, you know, I wanted to say thank you for building that character, you know. Treat people like you like to be treated. You know, one of my mom's favorites saying that. You know, being a good person. You know, of course you weren't saying those things on the field, but that's what you were teaching. You know, and we obviously got the point. You know, the success the class 83 had. And I remember going to Ranger, Texas, the Roaring Ranger Bowl, man. It was like playing in a sticker patch, you know. And it was fitting for a Coach Cullen team, you know, because we didn't care, you know. And the only other bowl game that I attended was the Senior Bowl in college. Because I attended JC, you know, and Dodge City Community College, I got a scholarship to Missouri because of Coach Cullen. Because of Coach Cullen, I got a 5th round draft pick with the Los Angeles Rams because of Coach Cullen. You know, because of Coach Cullen, you know, I married a gal in LA, and I have 2 beautiful adult children who are doing well because of Coach Cullen. You know, because of Coach Cullen, you know, I've been able to go back and get a master's degree in psychology and work with special education for the past 11 years, and 15, 17 years before that, I worked as a social worker. Because of all of those traits you instilled in us, you know, you dramatically changed the trajectory of my life, you know. And I wanted to say thank you to Damon too, because I know Damon's been working very hard at getting this thing put together for the previous years of inductees as well. Much appreciated. But I just wanted to say, you know, thank you to is it Barbara? Judy. Mrs. Rosson Schuler says hello. You know, she was my second grade teacher here in Dodge City, and she said, I don't know if you remember me, but I want you to say hello for me, Robert. And I wanted to do that. But I want to say thank you to your family for giving us Coach Cullen for those years. And I often thought, like, as I was progressing through my career, I'm like, where's Coach Cullen? Why isn't Coach Cullen coaching Nebraska? You know, coaching the Rams, you know, but God has you right where you need to be for the men that you changed their lives in such a wonderful way. So thank you.
I'm Mike Harshburger. I played 82 and 83 and was fortunate enough to be with some really great people and obviously great coaches. Thank you to this family here that I got to meet tonight. If you knew just an ounce of the crap that he put up with just this table, and why he probably wasn't at home when he was out chasing us around trying to figure out where we were at. Thank you, because you shared someone really special to us, and we didn't. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. We didn't have a high level of talent. We just had great-hearted people that just, and we still all do things. We have reunions together, and we did have some talent on there. And Coach, one of the special things at one of the reunions we had is when Delaware, and you spoke to him. That meant the world to him. I want you to know that. Because he hadn't spoke to you for probably since he left. So thank you for doing that. And thank you for just spending time with all of us. And you ripped my ass more than I ever will. Talking about being late, and we were supposed to be on time, and I got to tell a couple stories that my wife's heard, and she's like, oh my word. But I was 15 minutes late, and if you know Tim Back, and you know Jim Houston, and you know Jim Smitty, we called him, they said, Coach was here. Said, he wants you to call him. I said, oh, you guys are, no, he wasn't here. And yeah, he was, you better call him. And needless to say, I was at the back table at breakfast in the morning, getting a good veins popping out. I wouldn't play you. Anyway, and then the other one was when I missed the bus for a track meet, and you were, for some reason, driving the Suburban. And I didn't believe him then either, so I drove clear down the Panhandle State in my truck and ran my rear end off and threw up over on the side because I wasn't in very good shape. But you made a difference. You made a difference. And all of us will have stories of that. We appreciate you, we love you, and thank you for all you did for us.
I'm Gary Harshburger. I was on the 83 team. I'm from here. Actually, I played football in school down in Mineola. And so we had several winning seasons there. I think my career in high school was 44-4. I remember when this man showed up down at high school to recruit. And I'm like, okay, my dad was a part of this college for a long time, so I'm like, okay, he's not really sincere, he's just doing this because the legacy there and whatever. Later on, I asked him, says, you want me here, do I have a scholarship? Well, of course. And so that was my first interaction with Coach Cullen. And you heard stories about, what happened here and how you've touched people. But there's few times in a person's life when you can honor or talk to an individual that had an impact on your life. One of the reasons why I got involved with the college, I'm chairman of the board at the college now, is because of people like Jerry Cullen that impacted my life. And our group of guys, that 83 team, get together today, we were a family. Okay? Because the impact that we had from the interaction with this individual we're celebrating today, his impact on our life, it brought us together as a family, and we still get together. And Jerry, that's because of you. It's because of the things you taught us on and off the field. We would be out doing stupid things that kids would do, but we'd always say, ooh, we can't go do that. Coach Cullen will find it. But it wasn't about getting in trouble. It's because two things. We didn't want to let you down. And we also knew if we did that, we didn't want to let our brothers down. Because we were on a mission. I got involved in college bringing that same thing to the young people coming through it. That impact, and bringing people into their lives that can do the same impact on their lives. Because when we leave school, we leave those environments, it's important that those people understand that instead of entering that field of play, whether it's on the football field, the basketball field, or the field of life, they have that attitude, there's nothing I can't do, versus there's nothing that I can do. And so we as people that pass on to the next generation, that is what we have to do, is make sure that when they enter that field of play, whatever that is, they have that attitude, there's nothing I can't do. Jerry, Coach Cullen, that's what you've done to me, that's what you've done to my brothers. Thank you for that. Thank you for being here, and this is an incredible way for us to tell you how much you impacted our lives. So thank you.
I'm Schrader. My blog writes my cousin. He's one of the reasons that I ended up in Dodge. I was a couple years younger than him, and he was kind of like a big brother that I never had. And I heard him, talk about Coach in such high regard. And then I came in, and I tell you a lot of stories, but I'll tell you some funny ones here in a second. But the impact that Coach had on me is like you said. He didn't sugarcoat anything, which you guys knew, and he didn't lie. I was an out-of-state kid from Wyoming, and well, you're no better than anybody I have right now. But I promise you, if you come here and you work hard and you play for me, he said, I'll get you a scholarship out of here. Well, I come and walked on, and partway through it, hey, Coach, what do I need to do better? And Coach had two ways he talked to me. If he was mad, he was Schroeder, and he could yell out pretty loud. And otherwise, it was either Tommy or Schrader. And he said, well, Tommy, you got too much baby fat. You're too fat. You got to get stronger. You got to get faster. But he didn't sugarcoat anything, so I go out there and work hard, and eventually earned a scholarship and played. But probably the next big part of my life was I went on to the University of Wyoming, and I didn't make it. I was there for about 1 week. I was done playing. I left the University of Wyoming on a Friday. Saturday morning, Coach called my house, and he said, what's going on? What do you want to do? Where can I help you get somewhere? And he did. And he didn't have to do that. I was done playing for him. But he made that phone call, and that was probably the biggest impact, to me. And then on, and I came back and played here at St. Mary's and finished up and became a teaching coach. And every job that I got in Kansas, I would call Coach. Hey, what about Hugoton? Tommy, that'd be a good place. Go ahead, that's not a bad place to be. And I went over to Liberal, and so I always, he not only in college, but he impacted my career. Now, how my career started, I'll tell two quick stories, I'll be done. And I'll try not to say the language Coach said, but he had a way to go across. It's my sophomore year, and I was sitting in the student union, and there was a big table of us, and it was in the morning, and I heard Schroeder, and everybody was quiet. And he started out, you dumb son of a gun, in other language. He said, you better start going to class, or I'm going to kick you somewhere. And I made the mistake of saying, Coach, I've only missed 3 times. It's a once-a-week class, you dumb son of a gun. Well, I went back to class, and that teacher said, oh, I thought you dropped this class already. I finished. I didn't have very good grades, but I finished. The second one was the sophomore year also. And my dad had called Coach, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure which direction I wanted to go. And he come up, and then he said, Tommy, your dad called, and, what do you want to do? I said, Coach, I don't know. He goes, you like kids, don't you? I said, yeah. You like football? Yeah. Well, then go be a football coach and a teacher, you dumb blankety blank. That's what I did. So, but Coach, you were an impact on my life, not only in football, but in my teaching and coaching career. Thank you.
The 82-83 championship team come out of a little town in Harrington, Kansas, and kind of by Junction, Manhattan. But I can remember that summer after I signed, Coach Cullen called me on the phone. Says, how's it working out, going, big boy? I said, it's going good, Coach. It's going good. I'll be ready. And of course, in Harrington, I wasn't familiar with the weight room. I mean, we had the one little square weight rack. That was it. So, walk into the weight room. It was probably the first week of practice. Coach says, you're working out with me today, Billy. And I see a couple other guys work out with Coach, and they were the last ones to leave. And, yeah, so I'm still tired from that. Anyway, you know, I played here and, I was probably, should have been redshirted my first year, but so many guys quit that I ended up starting that first game till we got in this All-American defensive tackle and came in a week late. And, but I learned so much from them guys. And then the next year, another All-American comes in. We're in a 3, Kevin Humphrey, and I'm playing the same position. You know, I'm alternating with these guys, and Coach always made me a part of the team, got me in there, and he made a player out of it. And when I left here, he said, you know, Jeff, I feel kind of bad. Probably should have redshirted you your first year, and you'd be going to a different place. But it worked out great for me. Ended up at Tabor College, played football and basketball both there, All-American defensive end. And and I talked to Coach about that. He said, it's not about where you play, it's about the best fit for you. And that was the best fit for me. And thanks, Coach, for getting me there. And 2017, I got diagnosed with cancer. Biggest fight of my life. And I remember what all my football coaches have told me, and that's what's getting me through it. So, thank you, Coach.
Well, okay. To start off, thank you so much, Coach. My name is Mike Lorenzen, and I was at the junior college there, I'm only offensive lineman. No one probably ever heard my name or ever would. But Coach, he came, I was from here in Dodge City High, and he shows up out there, and he has a letter he wants me to sign. And I was kind of, you know, I was from Dodge City, and the school's right there in Dodge City, and I had bigger plans for myself. Coach looked at me and said, Mike, I guarantee you, if you do what I tell you to do, I will turn this into bigger, better things for you. And I was like, all right. Looked at me, I said, I'll do it. And at the time, he's like, meet me tonight at the weight room. I said, tonight? I said, I'm in baseball. I'm playing baseball right now. I said, he was, what time you get done with baseball? I was like, well, we get done about 5:30, then you're meeting me at 6:30 on Monday. Be there. I was like, okay. So I spent that spring and that summer working out, believe it or not, with Coach Cullen himself. And there's a lot of other guys there in the weight room and stuff. He'd sit there and he'd work with us, and we'd lift weights, and he'd lift weights. There was one time I was thinking, we're doing clean and jerks. And I do my set, and some other guys do their sets. Coach gets up there and he does his set. When he's done, he falls to the floor, his glasses are over there all wadded up. And we didn't know quite what to say. So we go on with our sets, and it's his turn again. We're like, Coach, it's your set. He goes, no, hell no, get out of my way. Get up, help me up. We help him up, he does another set. I think he matched me that summer, every weight for weight, rep for rep. And the whole time, I was just amazed at what you did for us. Even during practices, during the season, he'd come in, we had this square locker room. We'd get done with practice, and you'd be in there sitting in this big square, taking off your pads and stuff. And Coach would come, he'd in practice with guys, make sure you're doing this, get home tonight, eat a good meal, get ready, get some rest. You think that was over, but when you're sitting in that big square taking off your pads, here he'd come. And his office is over there, and he'd come walk around. And I thought, you know, he's not going to talk to me, but I'll be damned, about once, 2, 3 times a week, he'd grab me on the shoulder. What the hell are you doing, Mike? I was like, what, Coach? I just looked your psychology grade. That ain't make do it, you better start improving the grades. And I got to thinking, this guy not only cares about what I do on that football field, but he's caring what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And every day, it was, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. Hey, how come you were late to the weight room today? And I'll never forget that. Did go on to bigger, better things. Doug Burris back there just pointed out to me a little bit ago. I'm the only one in this room that actually played for and won a national championship. Sorry, Troy.
You're still hurt from it.
No, I went to Cameron University. We had some awesome playoff games with Pittsburgh State, and Troy played his defensive end for Pitt State. So we had a hell of a competition there. But I guess in short, I just want to say, Coach, thank you very much. You made an impact on not only me, but hundreds of people's lives, and I just want to thank you for it. Thank you.